We're live.
Welcome to professional streaming show LangTime Studio, where we have
Wait, this is...
two functioning cameras and
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
my stream was delayed by a solid 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wait, David, don't keep talking. This is good stuff, and we're not on air.
As I said, two functioning cameras and a separate microphone that's held up by rubber bands.
And it's going to keep working. It will not disappear.
Oh, it's fine. But yeah.
Hey, there's Logan. And does everyone know who Logan is? I'm just going to go ahead and crown Logan as best partner ever for Duolingo challenges. Like, here's my high five. Thank you so much for getting me through several Friends quests. You are just absolutely fantastic.
I won't name check the person that I had a friend's quest with last week, where we had to get cumulatively 400 experience for the week. I got 207, and this person got 186.
And stopped.
Yeah.
Just shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't Jesse, by the way. And since I'm seeing a notification, might as well discuss this. Yes, it looks like everybody in the Discord, and that includes Jesse and I now, can do polls. Since they take up so much room in the Discord, I think we're going to have to come up with some rules for it, so that maybe we just have a separate channel just for polls.
I think we
Otherwise,
almost need to, because yes, people are getting a little poll happy.
yeah, otherwise it's just going to get out of hand.
But yeah, we discovered this morning, as we were literally walking to a conference presentation that we were giving, I was looking at Discord, happened to see that when I hit respond, it was like, hey, new thing, polls are live. And I was like, oh my God, David, I can make a poll.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was not able to actually make one because, as I said, we were walking to an actual presentation. And so I was not able to brag about my poll status.
Already, Jonathan
Until
has
just
put up a
now.
new poll.
Should there be poll rules? Just no and definitely not. That's cute. That's cute. Yeah, I agree, Matthias. I think it's like right now we're also excited that we are absolutely just little poll trolls. But yeah, it will most likely die down at some point soon. Until then, our entire chat channel is just, what else can I put in the poll? Oh, Logan is asking if the stream died for anyone else, and I sure hope that it has not. It's still going for me, but I'm also at least 15 seconds behind. Yes! Bam! With the burn.
Love it.
And also greetings to Jake, who is this time in Northern Ireland and not in India.
Oh, wonderful. Jake, let me know where you are in Northern Ireland, because I have contacts over there. Know people who do the GOT tour up there. Anyway, so I do want to get to the poll, but do I want to do this first? You know what? I want to do this first because we tend to have, I think, the most people around the first 10 or so minutes. Our amazing patron, Graham, also known as Memer, Graham Hill, has created a new interface for Lexergy. And honestly, just when you thought it couldn't get any better. So you'll be able to see all of it on screen because I've adjusted this window, which you can now do freely. Look at that.
Like, and the color coding over here, I mean,
color coding is great.
This is just chef's kiss.
Yeah. And so this is really wonderful, especially for our unique situation where we're streaming and not all of the window shows up on the stream. So we can easily just move this aside if we want to focus on the rules or anything, and then just move it right back if we want to be sure that everybody sees the actual input and output. All of the LangTime languages are in the examples. You can still import and export rules. These are new features that I haven't played with. There's also, of course, the trace changes. Actually, let's do one of those.
And as David
trace
is
some
doing that, I
changes.
also want to point out another feature that I know David was super stoked about, and that's that in dark mode, these windows are dark.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, that's super exciting.
Check this out. Check this out. I just did track changes or trace changes, and now it pops up this little thing right
And
here.
you get to, like, click.
Yeah.
Can you click more than one? Apply. I want to see Fama versus.
Oh. Here, I know that you're not going to be able to see this because it's way over, but it's like, ugh.
This is gorgeous. It's like
Wow.
broken down step by step. You can kind of see where, oh my God, that's amazing.
That's incredible. So yeah, it's not going to be visible on screen. Definitely check it out for yourself. This is linked to, if you go to Lexergy.com, this is linked to right now. Graham is still testing it, so it's not the new version, but there's a link at the bottom which will take you to this new version that you can play around with, and feel free. If you have a set of sound changes already saved, you can just load them right up and they'll work.
Have I not mentioned recently that Graham is a genius? Graham is amazing. And for anyone who wants to support all of this work that Graham is just graciously doing for anyone interested, not just for the Conlang community, but this is super helpful for anyone working in phonology and wanting to say, if I think these are the sound changes, are they applying the same way I think they are in a NatLang? There is a spot where you can click on donations through the site, and so they can be, you know, whatever kind of donations. I think it's like measured in cups of coffee on this particular site. But Graham, hats off to you.
That's right. Okay, so Miles said computer science is magic to me, and I misread that as computer silence is magic to me.
I know, I do hate it when those computers talk back.
Well, I was thinking, yeah, actually, when we switched from Intel to M1 on the Macs, they sure got a lot quieter, didn't they?
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, also, remember streaming upstairs with the fan?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, and we actually had to adjust the volume input from the microphone so it was picking up the whirring of the computer, trying to keep up with everything.
Our poor little microphone, and now it's back.
And now it's back, and it's rubber. Don't break it, David.
In all its glory.
Don't break it. It's gonna like pop out, literally pop out, because it's held on by multiple rubber bands. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. By the way, is this only in dark mode because I'm in dark mode? Like, if somebody's not in dark mode, is this essentially light?
I would assume it would be white if you're not in dark mode.
That's really, really cool.
Otherwise, like, most sites don't start in dark mode without you suggesting. But someone will have to, because David convinced me to go dark mode, so I am no longer in dark mode on my computer. Or, sorry, in light mode on my computer, which means someone else will have to verify.
Yeah.
Actually, my phone is still light mode.
Yeah, it sure is.
Up Lexergy. I'm gonna do that while David continues talking.
By the way, if we lose steam a little bit or lose focus, we gave the keynote address at ConloCon.
Oh, it's all dark mode.
It's all dark mode.
David likes that even better.
As a matter of fact, it's all dark. Huh? Pink Floyd? All right, so we gave the keynote address at ConloCon up in the valley. We spent the night there previously. For those who don't know, right, we're in Orange County. North of us is Los Angeles, which is always a schlep. And then north of that is the valley. And people who live in the valley think they live in LA. They don't. But they will say they do. And it's even further away. And they had us speaking at 9 in the morning.
And they wanted us there by 8:30. Yeah,
so I think, of course, they were thinking of the stream. They wanted to make sure that we were back in time to stream. And so here we are. But then we did that, woke up early, and then I had to drive back through traffic, which always puts me to sleep. We made it.
It was not only a long drive and lots of traffic, but it was also so sunny and warm that it was just like, well, I could curl up.
Oh, yeah.
And that was even with me drinking more coffee on the way home after I had already had enough coffee to power a small steam engine to get me awake for the presentation.
Very cozy.
But
There's Matthijs. David is permanently in dark mode, as exemplified by his mood and sense of humor.
And yeah, so Matthijs, I want to say not only did David get up early, but when I say early, I mean like the alarm went off before 7 o'clock this morning because there was just, one bathroom, two people to get ready, professional presentation, needed coffee, etc., etc. So, yeah, David is still going and has been awake for a while.
Al is very sorry that the time change has ruptured things for you. We all look forward to a time where we don't move clocks around sillily.
Although I think what Alice is saying is this current time change is worse, which means we need to stay on our winter time change and not do the daylight savings time, which you want permanently.
But they also change in New Zealand, don't they?
I don't know.
Well.
But I thought they would have already by now.
Anyway, but, it's so funny. So Carl is here. So I think the one thing we can both consistently remember to say in Sangheli is Jan Musikoya, which means I don't understand, but it's kind of become hello.
Okay, so this is even better because right now where I am in the Conlang textbook that I'm working on, I'm writing a lot about like trying to get students to be creative with how they extend meanings in their language. And that is the most perfect example of extension where it's like this one thing becomes used to mean something else entirely. And that is amazing.
There's a great kind of a running gag in Arrested Development where there's a character who is from Korea whom everybody there thinks is named Anyang, and turns out no, he's just saying hello. Let's see. Imperative of see becoming a copula.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So see this is like another way of just being like, hey, here it is.
Wow.
That's really amazing.
We'll have to hang on to that one. All right. Ready for a little langery of con?
Woo!
She is ready. Oh, wait. We don't want to show the results yet. Sorry. Okay. So this week's poll, we realized we hadn't really touched on pronouns, and I'm going to scooch this over.
There you go.
There we go. All right. And so we hadn't touched on pronouns, and we were thinking about some different things to do. We came up with 4 potential strategies, named, I think, in a very, obvious way.
No, David, this. Don't downplay this. This
All
was
right.
great.
Okie doke. So we came up with four potential options for personal pronouns for this language. The first one, the simple 6, is that we have a 6 pronoun system, first, second, and third, singular and plural, and that's it.
Done and done.
Yes. Next came the saucy 7. Mm-hmm. It's the simple pronoun system, but with an inclusive-exclusive distinction for the first person plural pronoun. After that, the able 8. This is the simple 6, but at the third person, there's a distinction between animate and inanimate in both singular and plural.
Yes.
And then we have the naughty 9, which is basically the able 8 plus the inclusive-exclusive distinction in the first person plural pronouns. So I'm happy to say that there were...
Jonathan's comment. Dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, wait, copyright, sorry. Okay, yes, go on, David.
I had something to say, but I won't. I'm sorry.
Are you going to be a saucy?
I was going to be a saucy 7 there.
Yeah?
Maybe even something close to a naughty 9.
I feel like I know what you're going to say.
Oh, what was it?
Oh, I'm not going to say it, no.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. let's just simple six this along. Anyway, so, oh, Patrick, you missed the poll. Like, we were chatting on Discord while the poll was still live. Ugh. Anyway, so there were votes for everything, so that was pleasing. Not enough votes for Simple Six, I have to say. Sometimes Simple Six can be fun. That was the big loser. The other three were kind of in contention, but it actually kind of fell out so that every single poll was all but identical. And so we can just look at this poll and that'll tell you what the result is. Essentially, Saucy 7 was a clear but close winner for all three polls.
I gotta say, I'm actually excited about that because the animate thing was, I thought like a really good idea, but I also felt like we have done similar things.
Yeah.
And so I liked the basic system, inclusive, exclusive. I know we've done that before too. I'm not saying we haven't, but because it's a pronoun system. There's only so many things you can do with a pronoun system without making it absolutely illogical. But also I really liked that name the best. Saucy 7. It was saucy. It was very cute.
It's a very Sean Connery pronunciation. Don't be saucy.
Saucy.
Okay.
But yeah, Simple Six I thought was also good, so I'm not downplaying that. It's just I was like, oh, that'll be kind of fun to do, inclusive, exclusive, because it can be helpful.
All right. So let's get back to our beaver language. First, our daily look-in on Jonathan's amazing little mouse.
Yes. Oh, and
you can see it now.
You can see it right by me. Like the mouse is walking to me with a lantern and it makes me so happy. And speaking of the mouse making me happy, in case other people missed it, Jonathan had shared an image on Discord and also on Tumblr, but like an image where it was like an adorable image of mouse and cheese, which was based off like an older image existing of the Greek prepositions for the mouse and cheese.
Of course, I'm not logged in. What's Jonathan's Tumblr?
I don't remember.
Jonathan, what's your Tumblr?
But anyway, like are you gonna actually show it? So
yeah, I want to show it.
The surprise. That's right.
Mind.
Mindut me.
I always say mind to me.
Well, that would be wrong. It's mind ut me.
Mind you to me.
Mind you. It's May.
Okay. So this is the new map thing that Jonathan posted that looks
Jonathan,
interesting but long.
Your written examples are always just
okay, here we go.
So gorgeous.
So first, I found this. Can I close that?
It really wants you to sign in, but I'm going to say don't do it on screen.
Yeah, it's probably, yeah. So originally, right, I found this. This was used to help illustrate Greek pronouns.
And anyone who's been in any class of mine knows that image because I love it so much. I found it like several years ago. I used it in like every class, whether or not it made sense to show it. I'm just like, English grammar, let's show the mouse and the cheese.
Yeah, these are actually not Greek that are on here, but the original image had Greek. But then Jonathan made something even better. Look at these little mice. And we've all kind of been enamored of this one here. This stuffed with.
Amazing.
So these are the ones that are not included in the original, but just extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. Love it. So wanted to be sure to share that with you if you want to.
Wait. But the best part, why was I so excited about this post?
Because the word for mouse in Towal is Jesse.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, if you want to follow Jonathan on Tumblr, it's mind you me.
Okay, so Jonathan said it's like effectively IPA, so mindut me.
Mindut me. Mindutme. All right.
So I was way more right in my pronunciation.
You sure were. Okay, that concludes the part of the stream with me on it. Good luck. I'll be back.
What just happened? Like, I think he must have missed a call because he picked up his phone and ran. And so I assume he's trying to call someone. This is what happens when you stream with David. He ups and disappears, leaving me with the document not even on the right page. So I'm going to get where I want to go in the document and then see if I can just find myself on his. Oh, don't hit info. Gosh, that would be, woo. That could be fun. Okay, so we are at the pronoun chart because yeah, he probably is making illegal conlangs. You just never know. Matthias. That's amazing. Oh, I love you all. You are just, all of you are too kind, and I love you all for it. I do, oh gosh, can I do this in the style of David? You can start a poll on Discord for how displeased will David be in the chart making decisions that Jesse is making right now. I'm going to say this one is going to go for inclusive, that one for exclusive, and we're going to of course put our lovely pronoun form feel, and we're going to merge some cells because those obviously won't exist. I feel like David would make these a different color, but I'm not 100% sure. So again, we'll see how unhappy he is as he dances his way back to the screen. They can probably, this microphone's good, they probably hear you scuffling about. Could you hear the scuffling? I'm just waiting.
Oh.
But I think I have a table set up for us to start thinking about these.
Come now, let us light this up like it is dynamite.
Yes, they could hear it. That was David dancing. Yes, he was Mr. Scuff.
All right. So let's
Okay.
lighten these just a little bit.
I knew you would want them a different shade, but then I couldn't remember if it was darker or lighter. Excuse
Lighter.
me.
Let's just take that down to 50%. I mean, do you think that's safe to do? Or should I actually change the color?
Oh, I always change the opacity because then I know the base color is really easy to find all the time.
Right on. Okay.
Um,
The color will change, though, if we change the page color to black.
Why would you change the page color to black?
Paint it black.
And then all of our text would disappear because all of our text is black.
Well, unless you make the fill color white. Yeah.
Anyway, goodness. They were right that the cents on the show doubled when you left the room.
Yeah. There is you know, we could go on a deep dive back to the 1990s when the internet was first coming home, and when everybody had to access the internet via America Online, unless they were some, you know, weird computer geek that had figured out how to not have to use America Online. And America Online had an instant messaging service, which we would use, where you would pull up a window and you would chat with a friend, or sometimes more than one friend. And they included this feature which allowed you to change the format of the text. So you could change the font color and the font size, and in some cases the font as well, and then the background color. However, this didn't just change it for you, it changed it for the chat.
Oh.
So like you could have little wars with your friend and be like, I want the colors to be like this. And you send a message and it changes it immediately. They send a message and it changes it back.
It's going to be us and the hairbrush in the drawer upstairs all over again.
Yeah. And it would just keep going back. Yeah, essentially, that's actually a really good analog, Miles, is our place on Reddit. And so, yeah, it would keep going back and forth until eventually somebody gave up. And then it was like, yep, this is the color scheme then.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. It was a fun little time, 90s. In some ways.
I missed all of that.
In some ways, it was a much worse decade.
I am not sure I ever actually participated in a chat room. And let me tell you how overwhelmed I was when I went to my first ever LCS board meeting, which was held in like effectively a big chat room.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. I was just like silent the whole. I was like, what? Like I didn't even know what to do until finally someone was like, Jesse's running for a board. You need to do something. And I had to like submit something, but I was like, hey.
Mm-hmm.
It was very overwhelming.
That was a very 90s time, Miles. There's actually a great documentary about what a weird day in sports in particular that was, because of like 4 different crazy things happened all at that same time. One of which was O.J. Simpson. That was a weird time to be alive. Like, where it was just like certain people are like, what? What are you thinking? I don't know. Anyway.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking it was like, how on earth is this a real trial? Like,
during the trial, not during the car
I guess,
chase?
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, during the car chase, that was like, why is this on television?
No, the trial, I remember actually in 9th grade, they, like when the verdict was being read, we actually watched it in English class.
Yeah, I know that a lot of places did. I was in geometry, and so we were not watching it. But yeah, when the verdict was read, heard a bunch of cheers. I was like, what?
I don't remember that happening, like, in terms of
That's how we knew it had happened.
people reacting.
Because, like, yeah, there were just all these cheers that you could just hear from the hallway throughout the school.
Wow.
Yeah, that was that time. Anyway, all right, on to fun things. Pronouns. Okay, so we have our saucy 7. It's going to be a little difficult since the pronouns sound the same.
Feel.
Yeah. Also weird, we don't allow them in ingeminates, except for the pronouns?
Well, I vote we only allow the first person forms to be geminate at the end.
Okay.
All others will just reduce to feel. But
Yeah.
But beavers, of course, when they're speaking of themselves, feel they are so important that they feel.
Feel.
But for you, it's just feel. So.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Are there any of these that we want to have sources other than pronoun? Like, are there any of these that we want to get clever about or?
Okay, so here's my vote.
Sure.
I vote that for the first and second person singular, and then the plural exclusive and second person pronoun sources.
Okay.
Up for debate for third person whether we want to do something based on an older lexical source like here or something like that. I think though if we're going to get clever in the first and second person, the inclusive could be a way to get clever because it could come from a root like friends or like something that includes the person, and it could be like a cutesy way of being like, yeah, us, the two of us.
All right.
Thumping our tails here.
I like that. Let's start with the easy stuff. The stuff that's going to have its own roots. So we can do CVC. It's highly. That's even illegal in the
Alice.
United States, and we barely have any laws here.
Wow.
Dang.
That's, and like, I don't even know how, you can just buy a smoke alarm?
Sure
put
can.
it up? Do they have ones that aren't embedded in the ceiling that you could just
Oh yeah, like
set on a desk or something?
well, they all come with kits for installing them and embedding them. But like, if you just don't do that, then you just set it somewhere. I mean, it's best practice too, because that's where the smoke goes.
Yeah, but on top of a bookshelf is also up high.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I actually. Oh, Alice, because Miles was like, "How did you realize it?" And Alice was like, "It's been a while since we checked the batteries on the smoke alarms. Wait." Wow.
There was a great gag on The Simpsons. Homer invents an alarm that sounds when everything is okay. It's really loud. This alarm will sound as long as there's nothing wrong. It's like, how do you turn it off? He's like, you can't turn it off. But it does
awful.
break easily.
Where? Good Lord, we need to take care of this. Where? Are our notes?
So yeah, we can do CVC, and
Where is that information? I swear we started putting syllable information down, but like nowhere do we say that CVC is the, protoform, maximum syllable.
I mean, it's just known.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's not a great thing, but it is known.
By you.
Madame Nessa. Look at that. Lexergy knows it. It's on Lexergy. So it can be CVC or CVV. But it cannot be CVVC. And they should probably be a little light, a little small.
And now we have a proto-syllables note.
Yeah.
We already know we're doing portmanteau. I'm getting rid of that note. At some point, I'm just getting rid of all of these and putting these in footnotes or somewhere else because we need to clean that up so I can actually find things.
Yeah. So
David.
I think that one of our pronouns, I don't know which one, should just be a nasalized vowel. I think that would be cool.
Whoa. Ben Dent just started a Welsh course yesterday. That sounds awesome. And like it's free because it's the course cost is covered for UK citizens and
Under
residents under the age of 26.
Oh, that's a wonderful thing.
Nice. Okay.
So
you had said small, like CV forms, maybe, is that?
CV or CVC, VC, whatever. But I think it would be cool to have one of them be a nasalized vowel. It'd be cool for one of them to feature one of our opposite rounding vowels. We have two.
How do we get that?
Three.
Was that from diphthong reduction?
Yeah.
What was the diphthong precisely, or were there multiple?
UI, IU, and then for the other one, I don't know, something.
How about VUI, vui, becoming V?
I think that one would become V, wouldn't it?
Oh, I thought you said it would be V, U, U.
I think that would be VIU, wouldn't it?
I thought you said UI or IU.
IU becomes U, UI becomes U.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's
We can verify that in
I want it
Lexergy.
I want it to be in modern IPA VY, V.
All right, let's, and we have a couple of ways that we can do that. See, there's V. We could also, I don't know if it would ever be relevant, but we can use this as well. The V.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. And
Miles is also suggesting just straight up UA as a protoform to become E, that one.
so UA is what becomes that, huh? So what happens to IA? Yeah, an AI becomes A.
Well.
So it's okay.
Miles is saying that V is the new name for the Norwegian Rail Company.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Miles said that?
Miles said that right there.
V Miles. Man,
Yes.
how about that? Okay, so it's only in the back vowels. IA becomes A and AI becomes A. So this is one where it doesn't matter what the change is. but UA becomes this, but this is wrong. That is a velar fricative. I'm pretty sure.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, the velar fricative is not in this language, so we know if we see it.
Yeah, I just want to... Those are all consonants. Where are the vowels?
Hiding.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right there.
Let me make sure I'm right about this.
Right. Why don't you just type the velar the fricative, because that's much easier. It's different. It's different.
Oh my God, it's just the font. Whoa! What a wild and wacky font. All right. Fair play.
Okay.
All right.
And then I think another form could just be A and then voiceless in G.
Here, I'm just going to stick with IPA.
Yeah. And then, because the voiceless angma would result in nasalization and deletion, right?
Oh, look at that. It knew what I wanted.
It was there from last time you...
Though, of course, we do technically put it above.
It's fine.
All right.
It's just for now.
Yeah, it's just a temporary thing. Okay. All
All
right.
And... Oh, Jonathan. What was different? Sorry, I don't know if David wasn't on the screen or if you just couldn't see because it was probably really small. The phonetic symbol for the vowel, the unrounded back mid vowel, that's like the O, which is a little like ram's horn. In Lexergy, David thought it was producing the gamma, which is the voiced velar fricative. And so David was like, oh no, it's wrong. And so he went next to the vowel section and put his cursor into the code, right? And then typed in a gamma next to this ram's horn. And sure enough, they were two very different. They were different, but the font, like if you just saw the ram's horn, that unrounded vowel, in isolation, you would swear it was the gamma. But when you put them side by side, it was like, oh no, that's different. Because the gamma was a much bigger loop.
Right now, actually, what Jonathan has just posted in the chat, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, what they have posted as gamma looks exactly the way ram's horns does on Lexergy right now. And the way that gamma looks, it's like the Bugs Bunny version of gamma. It's so silly. Look at that. Wait. Wait. Yeah. Right? All right. I guess it's not so Bugs Bunny, but it looks like the grown-up version. It looks like the daddy version.
Just a second, I'm actually...
Mateus can take that any way he wishes.
Oh. Maybe, right? I'm checking... Serif, and then I also just want to see Noto Sans.
Getting a little spicy on the stream here, or in the chat. Speaking of which, it's top.
There we go. Okay, so if you want...
Why did any of Mateus's messages come through if it was top chat?
Because YouTube knows? Goodness. Oh, David.
Yeah.
If you want to, if you wanted to show, I can come to you. I just want to show this little experiment that I had.
Sure. I'll go up there.
Okay, cool. Because then I can delete it and make sure the font goes. Yeah, just don't hit the info.
Don't hit the info. Got it.
So
we
these
are.
the far left is Palatino X, which is the one David made based on Palatino. This is Noto Mono, and
Which is goofy.
this is Noto Sans, and then of course there's also a Noto Sans Mono, which kind of puts it together. But
You can see.
it's effectively like this when you see the ram's horn here.
There's a tiny little curvature.
In isolation, that's why David thought it was a gamma and was like, what's happening? But like, if you put them side by side, it's like, okay, yeah, they're different. But like, in isolation, you would never know.
Look at this salty Susan right here.
I mean,
Hello! My goodness. Call that gamma.
oh, and hello, Juno. Yeah, it is. It is crazy.
New Lexergy isn't dark mode for me.
Really? Because it is on my phone, and my phone is not set to dark mode, so I'm fascinated by that. I don't know what Brill is, but I will.
It's kind of like not a major city, but like the first city with a flight point that you reach in when you play World of Warcraft and start as an undead. That's what Brill is.
Okay, so David has deleted the symbols. We're back to good old Palatino just being there. Okay.
Coming up with 2 more things.
What does Kai come out as?
K.
Just K? Okay. I'm happy with that if we want to do that as an option. Because we can also have little votes if we have more. I'll just keep throwing things out like I do.
Wee little votes. And then maybe something with an actual realized coda.
Oh my god, I was just like Dune, which is Dune, but with an S. Suit. You know what? This is why I throw out lots of options right there. And you're like, why don't you just say this is it? That's why, David. That's why. You throw out no options. You judge me for mine.
For a pronoun?
You said you wanted a coda. I'm giving you a coda. Oot could be. There you go. You get a coda there.
T is the stodgiest coda that exists.
Do you like ooh?
Don't we use it a lot?
I don't know. Ooh?
What?
Abe.
What?
Ob.
B?
We're running out of consonants. Oz.
That sounds fine.
Eve. Oh, Eve. I'm gonna get another V in there. V and Eve, 2 totally different pronouns.
Oh, I guess cross the pond T isn't a stodgy coda, where their gingerbread has to snap.
There we go. We could be ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la, and ti. Jonathan has solved it. I am fine with T codas. I do not feel they are stodgy, obviously, which is why I gave a potential protoform. David was not such a fan. Finnish was great.
And a quick question. How many coda T's are there in Finnish pronouns?
Well, how many codas are there in Finnish pronouns?
Yeah.
Hen, but like everything else is open, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean.
So what point are you making, David? You want a coda and you're judging like.
You can. Not all codas are equal. Some of them are much more likely to show up in overused items. You know.
Thank you, Adrias. Yeah, codas deserve their rights too. Just not when David is sitting at the keyboard.
Oh my goodness. Now
Not
it's just
when
getting
it's-
unbelievably out of hand. I mean, come on. If it ends in T,
Oh, you're right. The accusative forms do have T's in the pronoun.
I think they're referring to the partitives.
Well, you know, that's a very blurry line in Finnish.
Yeah.
Okay. And
So,
oh my God, I sat on my foot for too long.
oh,
Oh, I was gonna drag in the other chairs today.
next time.
Oh, to
not
see
next
if we
time.
were
Next
more
week we're going to be
comfortable.
abroad. We're not abroad, but
We're not gonna be able to stream.
we'll try.
Okay, you guys. Here's what's gonna happen. David's gonna try to stream. We're gonna die within 3 minutes of the stream starting. Not us physically. The computer is gonna be like, "We're done." It's gonna stop uploading. David's gonna get frustrated and try again.
It'll be fine.
It's gonna happen again.
It'll be fine.
David's gonna get frustrated again. There's gonna be an A, a B, a C, a D, an E, and an F recording before he finally gives up. And it will still only be 18 minutes in because he will be convinced that the hotel Wi-Fi will work.
It'll be fine. Anyway, so we're talking about, proto forms of pronouns.
I would love to hear what you want. I don't even know what's shaking at this point.
I mean, the essentially the proto forms of the pronouns for Finnish, right? They're just essentially like, me, si, te, han, se, and what am I missing? Me.
We can do that. No, we don't have that as a proto. But we could do an or hlan or san, zan, man, thon,
I'm gonna throw some in there.
pan, ban.
Pronoun.
Miles is suggesting a good old-fashioned of.
And how about that? There. Let's just see what people think about these.
Get a poll.
If I really want to rile people up, I can start talking about Lady Gaga again. So much talent ruins every single song.
Anywho, it's okay. I have several Lady Gaga songs that you now have put on a playlist that we regularly listen to because I like them.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to change the vowel of the one that's winning because it clearly can't be that. Lady Gaga is incredibly talented and is really, really good at coming up with hooks, but has at least one part of every song that is just terrible, where it was like, couldn't anybody tell her, like, no, don't do that. Don't have people saying, "Gaw, gaw." Like, what were you thinking? But so good.
Oh, you know what's really funny is that we're, of course, learning all these pronoun forms on Duolingo for Finnish, and that's our source of Finnish learning. They don't offer very many adult language courses around here, and specifically not for Finnish. Anyway, so we're using Duolingo, we're learning stuff. And then like every time I go to check like something on a language learning site where it's like, written by people who speak Finnish and, describing like uses and stuff, the number one thing that they're like, here's what people really use is like, here are the pronouns you learned in Finnish, but here's what we actually use. And they are like so different in form that it's like, oh, Duolingo, you are leading me down a path where like I'm going to show up, speak in my minas and hens, and everyone's going to be like, oh, you sound like you come out of a textbook.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, though. I mean, instead of mina saying ma, it's just shortens it.
It is, but
Now I
but at
do.
the same time, it's like I wish I could hear a little bit of those examples, and
Yeah.
so
I love that Finnish had a gender neutral third person pronoun, and they were like, "No, we're going to replace it with a gender neutral third person pronoun. That's somehow it's less animate. We're going to use it with everybody. Say."
wait, they don't use hand anymore.
No, they just use say. Anyway, but
Wait. So do they use the hey versus nay?
that I don't know. I only know about the singular. Good question. But anyway, you should know that Finnish on Duolingo was really special. There was a dedicated group that was begging to bring Finnish to Duolingo when the incubator was active. And like every single time they're like, "Oh, now there's a course on Thai," and they're like, "Oh gosh, we've been wanting to do this." They put all of this work into building the entire Finnish course before they were even granted access to the incubator. There is so much love that went into that Finnish course, and so I'm really glad that it went forward. I don't remember. Maybe it was Thai was the last one that people were complaining about, wasn't there?
CISA Languages says they mostly use nay.
Oh.
So they did go the same way in the plural.
Ah, all right.
So, new things. But yeah, it's, their language learning is limited. And for Finnish, it's like, I think the best we can do is watch videos online, which I need to start doing because I need to just get the hear of it,
We need some Finnish series.
We do, like some good Finnish TV. And like, I think we struggled with that while we were there too, finding channels that just showed like Finnish shows. But we also were super limited on what channels we got in the places we stayed. And so it's like, I just want to hear, like, it was actually super helpful in the Netherlands when we had, and we put it on kids programming. And that's honestly one of the best ways to just hear it because you get a lot of repetition. You have a lot of like, they'll put up an image and say a word and it's like, oh, that's what that is. And so it's like a really good way to actually like get some bits of language under your belt. And that was so delightful to see the Dutch programming for children and to like kind of get a better feel for some of the words and language. And I wish we had found that while we were in Finland or Finnish TV. And I wish we could stream it here if we could.
Yeah. By the way, Arias, regarding especially the second one, so the grammar notes, that was a bummer, but eliminating the chat there, that was incredible. People did provide actual useful information. But as somebody who was on the other side of that, oh my God, had to delete so much, not just spam, but like really racist and hateful stuff that was just posted there. And it was like, if you didn't keep up with it, it would stay up for a while. It was just exhausting. So like there was, and especially for me, like it was just me working on it. At least other courses had teams of people that were monitoring that. It was just me. I couldn't keep up.
For which one was that, sorry?
For Duolingo, when you used to be like, for every single sentence, there could be comments.
A chat box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, the Usi Paiva is the one that I have been trying to use a little bit more. But, oh, what is beautiful? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm writing these down, and David's. We're getting back on board. What was the form that one? I wasn't.
It was av, and so now I'm wondering about it because we already have un, so we have un and av.
That's why you said change the form. I was like, I kept thinking, what's wrong with un?
Yeah, and so I was thinking. I mean, ooth is a little silly, but eth could work. But it also depends how these things are assigned.
Okay. Got my notes there to make sure I check out those sources, because like I said, I think the one is one I have used already, but or using on and off as I'm trying to do other things.
All right, I want to see if what people prefer between ooth and eth.
Does he do that? Aren't you so cute? Oh, I think I already drank it all.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Is Bibleridian still here?
Get me some more kombucha.
And by still, I mean ever.
Yeah, you're right. Unmaterated chat boxes are an awful idea.
Well, Jonathan, now we're
Ever.
even since I didn't vote in your no or definitely not poll.
Yeah, sorry. I haven't voted in anything since the original polls went up, I don't think, because I have not super been on. I have been productive, but I tell you what, being productive means not even being worse than I already was at things like checking social media regularly.
Yeah.
Bamboozled with the form. Oh, well, obviously it should be ooze because this is here.
Looks like they're in favor of Eve. A unanimous vote, and it's so this is a really conclusive poll since everybody voted. All right.
This is like your use of favorite.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention my other favorite thing today.
I know, I was waiting for you to bring it back. You all already know about David's use of favorite being real loosey-goosey. It's his code word of just saying he likes it. And so like today in the middle of a presentation, he was talking about, things that are generally associated with the area of morphology, like noun inflections. And David said it was his favorite area to work in. And I just like whipped my head to the side and David was like, well, almost. And then he kept going. And then we get to orthography and he never mentioned that was his favorite.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
All right.
Yeah, Juno. Yeah.
Okay, so how do we want to fill these in, Jess?
Matthias, I have a problem with that use sometimes. Like, I get it. Like, you're like, how do I explain this person? But like, in general, when I say someone's my friend, I mean it seriously. And when other people are like, oh, this is my friend who blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and then I find out they met them once at one party this one time. And I'm like, how is that your friend?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the aggressive use of friend. Maybe that's only American men that use that. Say like, you got a problem, friend? Yeah.
Buddy is more likely.
Yeah, but...
I love the forced friend in like elementary school. What do you say to your friend? Well, obviously they're not your friend. That's why you just kicked them in the shin.
Anybody that kicks you in the shin isn't your friend.
Tell you who your friends are. Okay. I'm not your guy. Okay. Sorry. What did you just say, David?
How are we going to assign these forms?
Coin toss. Dice roll. No, wait, that's George's thing. I can't do that.
I don't have the coin toss app on my phone anymore. By the way, a little plug for Tongues and Runes on tomorrow at 1:30 p.m.
How would you vote on Let's Have a Booba, Jake and Miles? What's the best way to assign forms? Hi, friends. Happy Monday. Oh, right. Jonathan is right. Put a picture of a coin on your phone and then just toss your phone.
We should.
Miles goes by vibes. Miles and Jake go by vibes.
We should get an official LangTime coin that is the LangTime logo on one side and maybe a Copico on the other.
Oh, we could also flip a Copico, and then we could eat it in celebration when we figure out.
Drop the pebble or the seed.
We could do that too. We do have those boxes still pulled out, but we have many more up here that we could use.
I'm gonna get this coin flip app, which promises in-app purchases. Can't wait.
Ooh, next podcast for Let's Have a Booba is going to get some sort of random phonology thing going on, so be ready.
And Let's Have a Booba is on Wednesdays at what time?
I feel like it's like 3 o'clock our time. I feel like, but I'm probably wrong. Right, you're not at the moment. You're just doing live. You like release the podcast. Isn't it released at a certain time now? But anyway, let's have a booba. David's still figuring out this coin flip thing. I think he got it. It has ads, but we'll do.
Oh, Susan B. Anthony.
Okay, yeah. This is why we're married.
Ha
We got to choose the coin, and we both got very excited. New podcast episodes on the 20th of each month. Thank you, Jake. We were getting it confused with your schedule from Luxembourg, where you did the streams or the video casting every Wednesday. So we were a little bit confused. Sorry about that. And David, oh, you're gonna do it on there.
No, they were recommending that, but I like our Susan B. Anthony coin a lot better, so we're gonna do that. Anyway, all right. So here we go.
Jonathan says, "Oh no, compromised password for us." Did you show a password?
No, it's just a warning that I have gotten every single day for probably 4 years now. Now I'm gonna go with 5 years. Anyway.
I'm the one that freaks out when I get stuff like this. David's like, eh.
Oh, I was going to change all of my... Oh, geez. Well, I don't like this.
Oh, that's an awful ad.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But anyway, how are we going to do this, though?
We're going to go form by form.
Okay.
And
starting with V.
V. The first flip is going to be singular or plural.
Singular or plural. Heads is singular because there's only one.
Obviously. And tails is plural because it's head versus tails, not heads. Making that up.
Plural.
Okay, so V is plural.
First person versus second person.
First person is obviously a head.
There we go.
First person plural. V. Love it. Well, as long as it's just David's social security number, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, now for I guess the flip is just singular versus plural, or at least, and then we'll see if we need a follow-up.
Dun, da, da, da.
Singular still heads.
Tails, plural. Huh. So second person.
All right, and now K, first versus second.
There you go. This is our own way. First person, so K. And that's for my dear friend Kay.
I like that.
Who I can say is my dear friend Kay because I have known Kay for over a decade now.
All right.
And so I can definitely use that term.
There we go. No. There is exclusivity. That was what won the poll, Tethys, the Saucy 7. All right. So we've done something.
And we need to make sure we write those protoforms down in dictionary entries.
Yeah, I know.
When we're ready to make them. Okay.
Cheers, partner.
Cheers.
Copico makes you dance.
As a side note, just to announce some good news about Kay to the world, and she announced it herself on social media, so I'm not ruining the news for her. She got into a doctoral program, and so we'll be getting her doctorate's degree starting next year, and I'm super stoked for her because it is a good move for her and her future career goals. Yay!
Right on. Okay.
Hello, Karis. You're in time for the celebration and the slow and natural decline of the episode because we have done so much already.
Yeah. So there are two things that we need to look at. One, how to go with these other pronouns that we decided are not going to be simplex. And two, how we're going to go about getting the partitive forms of these pronouns. And you know, How do we even put them in the table?
Normally is it just going to be partitive? Like that's our only other form, right?
Yep.
Why don't we normally do like 2 columns so that we can have nominative partitive under the singular heading?
And then nominative partitive under both of those.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a triple header.
Or a whole new table. Here's the nominative forms, here's the partitive forms. I mean, you've done that before where you have up here is one set and then down here are the cases.
I got this. I got this.
David's gonna fix it. There we go. Doing it that way, and I approve.
Do you hear how, like, every time I jostle the table, there's something that goes... It's like it... It's over here.
It's not the basket, is it?
No, it's not the basket.
It's underneath the table.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that it?
No, like it's actually one of the things I think that you're supposed to hook with the table. I don't think all of them, I think some of the hooks hang down if you don't have the leaf. If you have the leaf attached, because they only attach to each other if you don't have the leaf in the table.
Interesting.
It's Patrick's heart. Although now I am curious.
Now that you hear it.
I'm disappearing for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it is. I was right.
Hmm.
And I don't think there's any way to fix that.
Really?
I'm trying to, no, that's hanging down too. All of them are hanging down. It's, right here. If you want to feel. There you go. And there's one here, there's one there, there's one there. I think this one may have broken off.
But it's only that one back there that's making noise.
Oh no, I hear this one right here.
Really?
I do.
Hmm.
Okay, okay.
Did I do that? Did I close myself up?
Did you what?
Did I close myself up?
Do you mean zoom in? Oh, I think you may have just looked close, like gone in like this. Maybe.
Let's do a little bit of small cap action there. No, I guess that's got to be like that. All right, all right, all right.
Mm-hmm. Jake verified you were just leaning forward.
And then let's...
It's a very tricky thing, that leaning forward.
Let's do this. Yep. All right, good.
See, in this case, I go one step further, and I make it a super light yellow to match the rest of the table instead of a gray. You're right, Jake. Small caps is sexy.
Alternating row color.
And then bring it down, but enough you can see it. Gorgeous. Okay.
See. 10%. So the reason I did this is because I already have an idea here. I think that's going to be the partitive for that. We can start things with angma, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we got that. This one can be that. Kind of like that.
Trying to get the right place. So, oh, this is from how it came together. So then the ah dropped out. Okay, okay. I see what you're doing. So
What?
this one would have taken.
Okay. And then, so that becomes. And so then if something ends in IU, the partitive is still E. Okay. All right.
Within. Oh.
I like
right.
that.
The L is just if it's something following it.
Actually, I kind of like that. So the partitive and the nominative are identical there. Right? It's not so bad.
And then this would be Q. K and Q.
If we'd like that, yeah.
It has nice symmetry with V. Okay.
Oh, these, we're doing small caps. Embarrassing.
You can still capitalize in small caps.
You sure can, but
It's one of the joys.
one sure can, but should one? Should one? By the way, for a bit of fun, look up the 7, this is for our viewers because I think you know this, look up the 7-Eleven logo, in particular the history of its final letter.
I actually don't know. 7-Eleven logos. History. I'll just see if I can get a nice little image. It's gone from capital to lowercase.
Sure did.
Oh my goodness. Oh, please tell me this is real. Did it really start as totem?
Apparently.
Oh, 7 till 11 is how it got its name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. You learn something new every day. Oh, the more apparently still in use in some areas is it all lowercase. Because that says 2013 to now. But then this one is like the more modern one that I'm used to seeing.
The thing that I heard about that was unique was the final letter being lowercase. Jake says actually it's because they sell 711 flavors of ice cream.
More like slushy.
But most of them are just silt. So it's like, you know, there's basic silt, then there's extra silt, and then there's silt toffee, and then there's like, you know, gray silt.
Oh my God. This one is great though. This is, they asked people to draw the 7-Eleven logo from memory.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I love stuff like this because it's like you think you know it. I would have gotten it wrong. Now I've looked at it, so I can't do this. But I wish I had known about that challenge or that David had challenged me to do it because I promise you I would have been totally wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I love some of these where it's like never was the logo like some of these. And yet here they are.
Wow.
They said that overall, so the people who participated, 19% had a near perfect drawing. 31% just knew that, 31% actually wrote 11 as a numeral instead of the word. 44% of them did put 11 across 7 in some way. And 41% included a green border. So it's like they knew most of, oh my God, look at these, babe. IKEA, Starbucks, Apple.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I love this kind of stuff because it's like we think we know what we see on a daily basis, and yet when you're asked to draw it out of context, it's like, oh.
Jesse knows this one, but 7-Eleven is very important in Japan because it's the only place where a foreigner can use an ATM.
My worm. Keeping that little page open because I want to go back and explore. That's amazing.
Oh.
Okay.
Is there another, like, can we have like a suppletive of the partitive for the first person exclusive?
You mean not to have view on their choice?
Yeah, just because I think it might be a fun place.
But yeah, you can.
Like,
Did you know that our pronoun system, you can trace I all the way back to a protoform that has been reconstructed in Proto-Indo-European, meaning I.
yeah.
Me also traces back to a different Proto-Indo-European source, meaning accusative, me.
Yeah.
Two different sources, totally different sources.
Yeah.
And so can we? Sure. It could have just been like this was associated with, object kind of form or whatever.
Yeah, I was trying to think if there was something that made sense.
Yeah, I'm not mad at having the overlap because pronouns are notoriously known for their overlap. And so it's like I'm not mad at it.
All right, well, let's leave that and save. Let's leave that and save it for something else.
But also, like, Q could be a completely different form because I is used so much, like, in terms of when we speak, I is one of the top pronouns we use. And so that one could be, like, suppletive where it's like it just something completely different in the partitive.
Could also be this with the idea that it just kind of eroded since it will, as in the partitive, it will frequently show up after something.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I like that. Oh, yes, we do align. That's lovely.
Now remember, these are partitives, not accusatives, so they're a little different.
Well, they are, but like, they're used in special ways. All right, David.
So yeah, we gotta start jamming on this. Do some other pronouns here. Need to drop some rocks.
Okay. Do we want these, first of all, do we want these to come from sources or be old protoforms as well? We don't have to have lexical sources for third person pronouns. Like they can also just be old. And let's do a poll maybe. Do you want me to do a little poll? Just to see how people are feeling.
Do that.
Not a binding vote.
Do that because I have an idea for the first person inclusive.
Okay.
It's going to require some work, but I like it.
There we go. We're going to find out what our audience is feeling.
I think they're big into silt right now.
Oh, Miles is saying the inclusive could come from dam or family/kin.
Yes, Miles did say that.
Oh, sorry. Did you say that?
No, I said that I had an idea for the first person inclusive, but that it would require some work. Did you want to hear my idea, or did you want to just go with Jake's idea?
You mean Miles?
Miles's idea.
Wow. I, of course, want to hear all the ideas. I was adding to the pot because I assumed you would tell us your idea.
I was waiting to be given the floor.
When do you not have the floor?
You were making a poll. I didn't want to interrupt. I wanted to be nice, polite.
And I posted it. And now it's your turn.
Thank you.
It was your turn while I was typing, too.
I was thinking that the first person inclusive could be all here. So something that, relates to allness, and then just here. And then the partitive would have to be a little funky because it would apply, like it would be in like a strange place.
Be at a strange place. Oh, that's amazing. Patrick, and I know this actually includes you, everyone who has seen Jake and Miles in the same room has never been the same again.
Mm-hmm.
It creates a new partition of the soul that allows you to grow to the next level of being human.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were all on next levelness who went to KopiCon. And that is that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hashtag stay silty.
Oh, wow. I did the poll, so I can stop this now. They are feeling for...
Yeah, then we'll just have to come
mostly,
up with something.
they're feeling for lexical sources.
Sure. In other words, the one that's more work, I like it. I mean, but that's why they're here, to watch us do the work, so that, it makes it it's nice to see other people having to do work rather than you have to do work yourself.
Mm. Sure.
Had we come up with a word for here yet? I thought we had.
For Matthijs, it was the Belgian beer that
Frong is a
that
frong.
brought to a new level of humanness. Yes, this is our cult meeting. You can join in at the next level.
Dang. So, all right, we didn't have anything for that.
For all are here.
No.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Those are coffees, not sneezies.
They are. They hurt.
Oh, no. Let's see.
Oh. Okay.
Now, what I'm looking for, because I want to make sure that I have this right.
Patrick, we all know the spooky language is Tapachla. That is our cult language. The one we announced to the public is Wokuthiju. We share that one with the public to show that we are friendly mice. Once you're in, you're introduced to Tapachla.
Yeah. So we have nano adjective word order. Is that right?
Yeah.
Noun determiner.
That is right.
Okay.
And so, okay, I'm getting an idea.
It would be the order all here. Okay.
You speak your ideas out loud while my brain does a thing.
I wanted to mention something. I don't remember what.
Do you want here to be its own proto-source, or do you want here to be itself from a lexical source that came to be meaned as here?
Meaned it however you want. Ultimately, the expression can't be too long, but, it could always get eroded as a pronoun. But there's something really important that I wanted to share. Oh, it wasn't that important. Just the next Patreon live stream, we're going to be switching gears to work with Tapachla to come up with names for
Which means coming up
characters.
with a naming strategy, because we did not talk about that. We did a lot more work on those kinds of things in Ingala, in part because we just spent a lot longer on the language in terms of all during Tapachla, we were doing Ingala exclusively during the Patreon live streams.
Yeah.
And some special episodes and things like that. And so,
So yeah, we're gonna do some names, nothing too complicated.
Um, no, they're going to be much simpler, I think, than the rabbit naming conventions. I feel like the mice are going to be the most complicated, and dogs are going to be the easiest.
Yeah.
Possums are going to be somewhere closer to the dog side, I think, and I think cats are going to be smack dab in the middle.
Mm.
And so that's my complexities of naming conventions in terms of how much we have to come up with to get the names done. Okay. But, okay, so that here all was the inclusive we. And now we need a third person singular and plural.
Comparatively simpler.
Okay.
Just very interested to see what this idea is.
I need a moment. I was circling around to something. And now, like, I that's why I wanted you to, like, do something while I'm... Otherwise, this is a very boring live stream to watch as I just stare off into the distance.
Got it. Okay, so let's... wait, what are you working on so I don't work on the same thing?
Well, I thought you were tackling here all.
Oh, okay. But you had written it down, so...
Yes, because I needed it out of my head.
Okay.
And so I clear mental space by writing things down.
All right. So, of course, the order should be all here if all is treated as a pronoun. Sorry about that. It was bothering me. So, I do wonder. Let's take a little jaunt over to the wilds of the internet. See what all goes back to. Of uncertain origin, but perhaps from Proto-Indo-European hetuel, beyond other. Hetul. You pronounce the two after the H. So if all is something that goes all the way back, and here is something onomatopoeic, something like E. What feels all-y to you? I'm going to
And then I have ideas.
Oh.
But no, finish your poem.
I thought you were just hiding that from me.
I'm clutching my pearls. Wow. My version of the stream is 2 minutes behind.
What's English cool? We don't have erotic, but we do have mall, as in let's go to the
Mall.
So
Wait. All is coming from mall. Sclewy. Much.
Tell them all that.
Okay, well, okay. So you want some forms that could be ollie?
Yeah, sure.
That could feel full. Note that I just put full on the board. Zao. Protoform, zo. Yeah?
Oh, ZAU.
Yeah, zao.
Okay.
Something that ends in ud with the dental T, or D, I mean. Whatever you like best to start. Ud.
Dental T, huh?
D, I meant to say.
Dental D, huh? Oud? Let's put that little tooth. Parenthesis, 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 parenthesis. Oh, I know that you're not seeing where I'm typing the forms. That's intended. That is intended.
You will eventually. And
yeah, I think that you just volunteered this, Tethys. Wait, no, we can't do that.
Oh, nice. Turkish has a form of all that comes from to end or to complete.
That makes a lot of sense. I had an idea for a Conlang musical. Be somebody who had the problem where they would just every single word that they said would be in some different language. They'd had some sort of mental break that resulted in this.
Jake, I can say that is one thing I am not secretly working on. I am, however, working on another project. Always new projects.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so while the poll is running, which we kind of have a clear front runner, a lot would have to go south from here.
Yeah. Nobody liked Mall.
Nobody liked Mall. Robin Sparkles would just be absolutely defeated.
Putting them all to shame.
Okay. All right, so David, I'm going to pause you for a second on your creation. Well, do you want to write out the Zo one? Zao to Zo?
I'm paused.
David is paused. Okay, so here are some initial ideas that I got very excited about, but now, of course, I'm second guessing myself because you have given me far too long since I came up with the idea to sharing it. So now I've already partially poo-pooed them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for the singular form, because I was thinking about what they would talk about, and they would potentially talk about like another group of animals that, like not one of us, but that one.
Mm-hmm.
Were the rabbits the closest friends of the beavers? Who were the closest friends of the LangTime animals?
For the beavers, it'd be either the rabbits or the opossums, yeah.
Okay, so their word for rabbit or possum being reduced to being like the singular form, because they would talk about them a lot. Or if you wanted to be a little cheeky, the word for friend could be reduced to be he, she, it. It's the friend.
I actually kind of like that.
And so we could be a little cheeky. Okay, so then for the plural form, I was thinking like what they would see around them on a regular basis that is like almost always in the plural. And still thinking of animate sources, because I kind of like this idea that they're using, like the things in the world around them, the peoples. And I was thinking bees, flies, gnats, or like the little water bugs that are everywhere, mosquitoes, but something where it's like you don't just see one when you're like out in nature. Like if you see one, to beware because there's going to be more.
Kind of like that idea.
And so having that as the source for the plural.
Yeah, we need to be sure that the thing shows up differently from its lexical descendant.
Yeah, so I was thinking we could purposefully make them like 2-syllable protoforms.
Not swarm there, generic.
Oh, yeah, swarm. And so anyway. So yeah, we could have like friend and swarm. If that were.
I have an idea.
Jake, I feel like I would call that just like an interesting case of nominalization, because it's like if you take anything and turn it into a noun, I think you can technically call it nominalization. Oh, nice, Karos.
I need an easy way to get A's.
What do you mean to get A's?
So I don't think these rules are up to date, are they? What happens to at the end of a word?
I actually thought we problematically couldn't figure that out.
No, we resolved it.
Did we?
After that, la becomes H. This after nasals.
Ooh, hey, anime fan.
So it's a
What's up? Oh, and then the coda H is lost.
Okay, I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea, and so I think that this is what's going to happen. I don't like that la anymore. I'm gonna get just gonna take this, but I want, you know what? No, I'm actually gonna do it. I'm gonna do it so that it's actually written down somewhere. Here. And my idea was wing.
Ooh.
And then the partitive might be soling. Yeah. It's kind of wacky, but it's like an old fossilized form. So zawin and zoling.
We can handle wacky. Okay. Okay.
All right. Yes, we only have 3 nasalized vowels, just I, and That's it.
All right. So now we need a word for friend, and then either a word for swarm or for a specific swarmer if we wanted to go that route.
I kind of like swarm.
I do too. Like it makes
Yeah.
more sense, I think, because otherwise it seems like it would, like they would have a plural form that would get reduced. Okay. And I'm gonna double check. Surely we haven't at all talked about friend. No. Okay, so my friend. I think you're my friend.
Well, how do we come up with a word for friend?
I think sometimes they could just go way back. I'm actually, a second, I'm going to attempt to sit like this again, which may mean my foot falls asleep again. Just remind me that I did this to myself.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, it goes all the way back
to free end.
So
to like, it goes back.
It's complex. So if we go back to Proto-Indo-European, it's to like or to love is the original source, but as early as Proto-Germanic, it was already like a noun meaning friend.
Nah, hold on. I need better. Let's see what Sadiq. I mean, this certainly looks complex. Where's the root?
I'm going to see if some of these have.
Oh, here it is. Ah, so it comes from something related to somebody who tells the truth in Arabic. Let's see. I believe, isn't Hawaiian ho'aloha? Yeah, it is. So we know what that is related to. What is hoa? It's just a shortening? Oh, well, how about that?
Oh my God.
Hmm.
This one, the word for friend in Persian, ultimately comes from the Proto-Indo-European source to taste, to try.
Hmm.
Like, they don't have entries for these, so I don't understand the semantic journey that took. But it's related to Latin gustus.
So a friend is someone you eat bark with. You know, get your silt on. Oh, silt on would be a great word in Trigetta slang. Yeah, on silt on. So,
and then, of course, ami is from I love, so to like, to love. Go on.
In Hawaiian, I knew the term ho'aloha, which sounds like it's like the causative ho'o in the front of aloha, which is, of course, means love. But it turns out it's actually a portmanteau of hoa and aloha, because hoa is just friend. And it goes back to Proto-Oceanic friend.
Oh my goodness.
And then, you know, it just fits right in with aloha, which is in adjectival position, so why not?
That is amazing.
Oh, I didn't know that Swahili borrowed Rafiki from Arabic.
Please don't give etymologies. That is sad.
I wonder where dost comes from. From Persian. And then that's, so yeah, you already looked that up.
The taste one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you love
Did you come to it? I'm sorry, did you come to it from Hindi?
No.
Okay, I came to it from Hindi.
I came to it from Azerbaijani.
Oh, we didn't even look up Istava.
I did.
Of uncertain origin?
Yeah, it didn't really help. They think it may have come from like to embrace, but then they're like root unattested. And then they're like, maybe it comes from want, but they're like also unattested. So I didn't know how much to actually like.
It's so big and so weird.
That one doesn't have. But no, yeah, I totally looked that one up because I was very interested.
Tagalog has something from Ibig. Saliva, drool, crave, lust for, covet, love.
Okay, this is really wonderful. So David.
Yeah.
This in Serbo-Croatian is
Yeah.
friend. It ultimately comes from this,
Yeah.
which means to deceive.
What? Oh my gosh,
so
drug.
The word for friend in Serbo-Croatian, if you trace it back through several proto stages, it comes from the root meaning to deceive. To deceive.
Yeah. It's
not to truth, not to, I guess, you know what? Maybe when you love your friends enough, the little white lies add up, and really what you're doing is deceiving them. No, it's okay.
Well, drug is the
We
word
all
for
have those days.
It's the word for friend in Russian as well, and famously the word for each other is drug druga, which is literally friend to friend.
Nice.
So like we gave it to each other's, we gave friend to friend.
Okay, do you want to derive this? Do you want to have a basic root? Do you want it to be like a little bit more complex? Or do you not want it to be complex because then it would make less sense to be old enough to be the pronoun for?
I'm actually fine with making it its own root thanks to Hawaiian, and I love my beavers. But look at all this. So drug druga is one another, each other. So it's drug druga. Then there's drug drugu, to one another, to each other. Drug za drugum, one after another in single file. Drug drugu, to each other. Drug na druga, against each other. Drug ot druga, one from another. Drug pod druga, toward each other. Drug protiv druga, face to face. Oh, protiv. Drug strugum, with each other. Drugu druga, at one another, from one another. This is too much.
And yet that's what language does.
How was I supposed to learn this as a student of Russian? My.
So Matthijs is saying that perhaps there was a patron who requested to make Mika friend. My memory is not serving me in this moment. However, we can put that on the table. It's a 2-syllable form that can get reduced.
Yeah. I don't hate that enough to veto it. How's that in Jam It?
Did you type it somewhere? Oh, you typed it in Lexergy?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, it's not on there.
I mean, no, I didn't.
Oh, it was in a previous language. Never mind. So then you can take it back off the table if you don't
Good.
like it.
Good.
I thought it was cute. I don't know.
The second drug declines like any other noun after a preposition. Yeah, well, it's true. But then what about the prepositions?
We need the word for friend to be semi-phonologically similar to the word for nose. And then there's a folk etymology that the word for friend came from. It's the one you boop noses with.
Love this. All right. We have not got nose yet. Okay. Something that would be similar would be, for example, if it ended in a voiceless consonant and then, in the... no, that wouldn't make sense. Let me see. We have our dental fricatives versus our dental stops that will come out identically.
We are apparently ignoring Patrick's suggestion.
What?
But just a second, I have to scroll because it must have been so long ago that I was not looking at it. I had something else pulled up. Oh, this was, okay.
Someone who carries the other end of the log for you. This is derived from the word the other end. Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, that is good. See, no need to be snarky. Sometimes you just got to realize that if we're looking at, say, etymologies on a website, we won't be able to also see all of the chat box.
Oh, I don't think Matthijs is capable of being rude. He's Dutch.
We were asked like 4 times in a row, have you seen it? And then someone else like followed that up with, and obviously if we're not going to not only ignore one good suggestion, but then we're not going to follow up, ignore all the others on purpose. Literally it was because I was over on another site, and by the time I got back over to YouTube, I had to refresh the page, and so all the chat went with it.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I missed a section. Thanks. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
That, I really love that. And so it would be a word for like end or something referring to the end of something.
log.
And then it would be followed by something that meant other.
Thank you, Patrick.
Often words for other different can derive from word for to or second. But other can also go all the way back, or different can go all the way back.
I kind of want second, just
Far.
to say hats off to Twista.
We could do that, but I actually think I came up with a better idea.
Okay.
Far. Because if you're carrying a log, there's the near end and then there's the far end.
Mm-hmm.
And then that can actually derive to come to mean other. So other can derive from far.
Now, would the near end be different from the here end and then the there end? Far end?
It could be. So we have im for here and becoming I. And then so if I is here, what's far?
Or no, I was just asking, like, is this
Or
going
there.
to set up the dichotomy of the here and there? Or is this going
Whatever.
to be like far versus there?
It could. We're only focusing on the far end at the moment. So.
Okay, I'm going to say far end is very Englishy and there. And we're going to come up with a version of there to go with the here of
Okay, so if I is here, what's there?
I feel like you just got an idea and you didn't like it and you did a little like distasteful face.
No, I'm just waiting to hear what your ideas are for if I is
I have
here.
no ideas. It's 3:51.
Yeah.
My ideas ran out about 3:43.
Well, shall we take this to a poll of some kind? Or maybe do, it'll be more work for us, but an open-end poll for swarm?
Well, do we have other ideas for what we're doing after this that we could set up a poll for?
No.
So then maybe we need to.
Yeah, okay, I'm trying to think through this.
We already used a form that like came to mind and now I can't get it out of my head because it's like, ooh. But we already used that exact form. Could be ba.
I think oth. Unless we've used it. We haven't. There. And it's going to mean there, or is it going to mean far? It's going to mean there, isn't it?
There.
There. Okay. Okay. And now for and. Okay, so we've got something starting with K, G, Z, V, vowel, the, ng, la. How about la?
Okay.
And
Is that going to be onset? Is that what you're, or coda?
And here's actually my idea. Okay. No, wait, that won't work. Okay, I think I have an idea. All right, so if we have, we're going to use our other nasalized vowel, N. Thank you for that, beep. All right, lan will be end.
I think that should be a sort of extension from an original meaning just meaning like edge, like where something stops. And so edge, log edge would be the stopping points of the two.
Yep. All right. And then we're going to make our word for nose that. All right. So then we have that etymology in there. And then the there end is, so this nasalization thing, it's just going to kind of, you know, lath. There are two options. One, this whole thing becomes lath, or it becomes nath. Lath is where the N, the voiceless N, nasalizes and gets lost next to, so lath, 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 just becomes lath. The other one is that it compounds a little bit earlier, and instead of becoming, you know, lan, it becomes lanhath and lanhath, and then the sound change is applied, becomes lanath, and then just lanath, 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 nath, nath. Mm-hmm. Which one do you like better?
Okay. I like it being old, and so I like nath. I like the form loth because if you know me, I love a good L word. Hence our Ingala L heaviness.
Yeah.
But I like the concept of it having come, you know, much earlier. Now, the word for other end, meaning like in the word, like you use it as friend, would that still be lanath as a full word?
Yes.
Okay. I like that. Lanath is a beautiful word for friend.
All right, yeah, and thank you because I'd completely forgotten about that. So let's now, I'm sorry. The word for friend is not going to look like the word for nose anymore if we do this. Wait.
It will,
wait.
because
No.
and lanath.
No, because I know how to fix this.
Oh, okay.
And this is how it gets fixed. This is actually the protoform. See, so the actual modern word for nose is lan.
Okay.
And so now it's going to look like, you know, lanath comes from nose, whereas this word for long edge, oh, sorry, we're not doing the same thing. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is lan. Feeling good about this.
Okay.
All right.
Yay!
And so we just have the swarm to deal with.
Okay, and I just want to make sure the partitive.
I'll go ahead and put lanath because it's some of these can be added because we have our.
The partitive form with the oo changes in between, is that because the partitive would apply to other.
Edge.
It would reply to edge.
Yeah,
and then there would be added.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can't really keep that. And we have a very uncomfortable situation where we have a lot of things compounding, but we have disallowed VVC. And so I don't know if we're supposed to allow that now. And so
no, because if it would be in a compound situation, you would get VV from one word, but then the C from the next word would be the onset. Like it wouldn't be a consonant cluster.
All right. Okay, good. Okay. Ooh, we can get rid of this. So, yes. Okay, good. All right. Let's see what we got here. So lan is now nose. I'm going to write that. That one will be easy. Nose. Okay. And now let's do lan, whose proto will be la nu. And this is...
Did you want me to stay here or go ahead and go down to the... I was leaving it here on the screen. So
leave it on the screen for a minute. And so this is going to mean edge, end. It might mean other things. We haven't gotten to verbs yet, so. But let's not forget about this idea that it could have a verbal meaning as well.
Okay, and then what else will be?
And so, yeah, they'll both have, those words will have the same partitive form. And then lanath.
Oh, of course, Patrick. That was a great suggestion. And thank you to people who pointed it out. Just, I promise you we were not ignoring it.
As much as I hate to admit it, sometimes Dutch, shall we say, normalness is required.
That is true.
That is a special word. And I'm actually gonna write something in here. So two things.
You're right, Matthijs.
The real etymology.
I feel like, however, Matthijs, you don't ignore something really not on purpose. Like, ignoring it suggests you saw it and then decided to not mention it.
Yeah, that's true.
And so your verb choice implied the on purpose. And so I just kept saying at least not on purpose, because I suppose you could say in some way we were ignoring it, but it wasn't actual ignoring it because we never saw it in the first place. So, And no, we haven't seen Biblaridian today, which I'm going to guess means there is a frightful storm outside of the lighthouse, and that is really taking precedence. No, because neglect for me also is very agentive. I feel like the way to say it is literally you would have to say something like, you didn't see it. Hey, LangTime, you didn't see his suggestion. That would be a very honest, non-agentive way to put what happened. Is there another verb you can think of where it's like, it's not ignore, it's like you're ignoring Patrick's suggestion? Like, I feel like you just have to say you didn't see it. You missed it, maybe? You missed it?
Mm-hmm.
You missed Patrick's suggestion? There we go.
Suppose we'll do some more to just kind of fill out the vocabulary a little bit.
There we go. Yeah, Karis, right there. Oh, Juno, that's unfortunate. Hope all is well. Post-storm.
No,
That's true, Jonathan. You did soften it by asking. The question that David always laughs that he says I am famous for, because I'm always like, hey, did you close the door when I can clearly see that it's not closed? Or no, I'm more likely to say, did you want to close the door?
Yeah.
Did you want to take out the trash?
I didn't take out the trash yesterday. Jesse had to as we were leaving.
I did. And I'm a better person for it, I'm sure. Okay. So thank you all for being here. We need to get going, but thank you. And thank you for the wonderful suggestion, Patrick, and for everyone who pointed it out to us so we didn't miss it, because that was amazing.
Yeah, feel not awkward. That was really good and a really, really positive contribution to this language. Something that we wouldn't have come up with. And now it's in there, and it makes me really happy because I think it's something that really works for our beavers. And of course, they're like my favorite animal, so it's very dear to my heart. And it resolves I found one language that has the proto-root, but like this resolves David's feelings that maybe it should be a little bit more complex. This allows that complexity and still allows the nose booping to be a folk etymology. So, hey, Tim, good to see you at the end.
Indeed. All right. So everyone stay grammar. We will maybe see you next week, ? If not, we'll be back to normal after that. So I apologize in advance for whatever havoc we wreak on the schedule with being on the road.
And I do not.